City24, welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. It's True Blue Thai here in Thailand, and it's Wan Ang Khan. And you're saying, what do you mean Wan Ang Khan? Shouldn't it be Wan Jan? You're correct. Because it is Tuesday morning here in Thailand, yes, and do apologise because I didn't post yesterday, and because of X, Y, and Z, and but I'll explain the X, Y, and Z. What happened is I got up in the morning. She had a day off, so I was to go sleeps late, so I decided to get up and go for a run. And so, for instance, I go run and swim, and I'm trying to get back into my rhythm again. Problem was, etc. She had pizza. She wanted a pizza, but even though it was a small pizza, for instance, and when she came home for dinner. So the thing is, that's all right, well and good, but she, again, in Thailand, you have to share. So whether you're hungry or not, share. So whatever she has, she always shares. And it's a Thai thing, etc. So. But I've already eaten. I've already had my rice, my potatoes, because I'm basically a rice. I eat rice. That's my staple, really. I don't eat processed food or anything like that. Everything's all fresh and rice. And so I've already eaten. But I've got a smell of a nice pizza from the pizza company here in Thailand, which is the number one in Thailand, for instance. And so I'll have a pizza. Anyway, so I'll have a pizza. So the next day when I went running, I didn't realise I had this pizza on my stomach plus other bits and pieces. So also I was told again, and if you look at the weather today, for instance, and if you know me and if you know the stream, it's annoying because I was told, for instance, it was going to be cloudy and a bit of spot of rain, and it was going to be rain, or especially rain in the afternoon. By the updates, for instance, Paddy News, it's 103, it's going to rain in the afternoon. And guess what? It never rained, it was sunny. So I had the sun beating down. I mean, as you probably can see, I've got a bit of sunburn. So I had the sun, I was feeling a bit groggy because of the pizza was on my stomach plus everything else. Waiting to go down. And I was still not, my legs my foot is still not 100%. So I'm feeling a bit rough. So I kind of curtailed half my run, etc., and came back early. I still went swimming, still did a bit of meditation, and so I said, right, now I'll tell you what, I'll go back, etc., because I've also got a few things to do. By the time I got back, etc., for instance, she still wasn't up, but I had to do a lot of things, and so I wait outside and do. But then again, when she finally got up, etc., I had loads of stuff to do. I also, she also had to go shopping as well. She wanted to go shopping, can you go shopping? I'm like, oh, flip's sake, And so by the time I got back from shopping, I also needed some more rice whiskey, and so I had to do it without her watching, because again, she's a 1 minute, and I get these relationships with these women. Forget, I'm not going to go in this one. Anyway, so the fact she doesn't like me drinking alcohol, even though she said it was not a problem. She doesn't like me drinking alcohol, even though I don't drink a lot of alcohol at all. She doesn't like it. Anyway, regardless, so I had to sneak out and go get some rice whiskey while she unexpectedly she went out. So I just wanted to rush out and get back. So that took time. So it was knocking 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, etc. And I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll do this tomorrow. So I was going to do it very first thing in the morning, and then post it, and then do one for now, and then convince you guys, etc. It's Monday, but it's not. So I thought, screw it, I'll tell you what. But also, it gives me good time because to calm down, because again, I was such in a high, and I think a lot of us were after the Wolves game, and I think we need basically, for instance, and it is because again, I think it takes you back to the Club World Cup. We beat Juventus, and it looked amazing, and everybody thought, Al, no worries. Okay, and Spurs, no worries. They've just had a knock back of Eze. Their transfer window has been garbage. They've blah blah blah. They've had they didn't finish. They finished just above the relegations last season. City are on form. We're back at our new. The stadium's been expanded and it looks amazing. Got the new TV screens up. Everything was rosy in the gardens. The player, we got Ryan Cherky. We got Tiana Reinders, everything's going to be great, you know. And I went to my mate, etc. For instance, I was telling you about, reconnected with him, Mr. Pessimistic. He said, 2-1 at best. Anyway, so I'm like, no, we're going to win 4-1. 4-1 would be nice, I'll give them 1, you know, like that. Yeah, and when we saw the team, everybody was happy, nobody was complaining, and yeah, and now we've got to sit back and reflect and say, well, we got it wrong. We got it wrong. We expected Spurs to come back and play defensively, but they didn't. They came and attacked us. Okay, what's it called? For instance, we played Ryan Cherky rather than Bernardo Silva. Get rid of those unks. Those unks need to go. We don't need those unks. And we dropped Gundogan didn't play. Run the squad. Koloff, of course. Not Koloff. Is injured, and so for instance, for instance, we've got this brand new young team, 24 average age of 24, Manchester City's youngest team for a long time. Brilliant, superb. So for instance, it's going to be great. Anyway, guess what? And so for instance, maybe looking back, etc. Bernardo Silva was probably a better person to play, especially against the likes of. Bernardo Silva against especially with Nico Gonzalez. So and also the losing Ignori was not good. Bringing on Nathan Aki, so that cuts that bit out. So the left hand side out, and they just Thomas Frank. We underestimated Thomas Frank. I listened to a lot of people prior to the game, just as much as I listened to a lot of people after the game. And people did say, "Oh well, the best person, for instance, the best signing for Spurs was Thomas Frank," and I'm like, "Yeah, give me a break." But there you go. But he knows how to win, and he's got them motivated, and So for instance, I think we got to look back and say, and I think we're saying that though. For instance, I've had a good time to think of this. It appears that, for instance, we weren't that bad, and I said in my review, if you look at the stats were very, very in favour of Manchester City. Expected goals were in favour of Man City. The amount of chances on goal scoring opportunities, they had 2 and took theirs. We had 2 and missed ours. And if those 2 would have gone in, then things would have been changed. If Mamouche would have scored that further goal, maybe they would have changed their game plan. But and again, for instance, their first goal came from a a slip from John Stones, etc. Who normally play him offside, or that would have been offside. It was yards offside, millimeters offside, should I say? Other than that, and then the next one was a Trafford mistake. So it was not something that Spurs did do great. They played well, and give them credit, but they weren't absolutely outstanding. It weren't like last season when they beat us 4-0. They were brilliant all over the and we were just bad. So, for instance, but this season, this game was they got the goals not because of anything. You could say that, for instance, they did, or well, you couldn't, they pressed against us and blah blah blah. But other than that, it was Man City's calculated mistakes really what actually made us lose that game. It was, I think we were tactically outfought between Frank and Pep. I think we were set up in wrong because again we need to be more pragmatic. We need to realise that, for instance, I thought we gone into the game just like I think we went into the Al Hilal game, thinking that, for instance, we're the Man City of old, and we're not. And we need to be a bit more smarter in our heads, because we're not Manchester City of old. And we need to, if we were playing, and also it's a very young team, it's a very new team, we've got new players, we've got players coming back Foden, Rodri coming back. We've got new players coming in. Even though they're probably playing well on the football pitch, playing well together, getting used to each other. It's still different changes. So for instance, and we needed to calm down a bit more and say that, for instance, it's not all doom and gloom in any way whatsoever, but it's the fact that we got to be more smarter in the playing football in the next few games as well. Brighton, the Rags, and then Arsenal. So, for instance, and we've got to basically, I think we will be more conservative, for instance, playing these games, especially the Rags and for Arsenal. The Rags, again, they were shit again. But, for instance, we'll come back on that in a minute. But against Brighton, etc., we need to be playing conservatively. Even though we can be, adventurous, but also we've got to be playing Bernardo Silva. We've got to be playing, if Rodri's not playing, for instance, he's not starting for City, but also he's going to take time to actually go to get back up to speed as well. So it's, and I think it's we need to be a bit more, just kind of like come back a bit, and be a bit more smarter in our football playing the way we set up. Going gun-ho against Spurs, etc. It looked great, but when it didn't look great, we lost. And the fact is, we were outsmarted and for instance, and we never expected Spurs to play so well. It's football, and again, and that's the reason why you love cup games, because you never know, you underestimate the opposition, and the opposition comes back and backs you in the arse. James Trafford, I feel sorry for the guy, etc. He must have been on incredible pressure. First home game, there's rumours about Donnarumma, and for instance, Man City getting Donnarumma. Ederson's on the bench. He must have been under pressure. But also we let him down. The City players let him down as well, and it should have gone long. He should have basically just booted it, and not tried to be Ederson, And I know he's confident with his feet, but just get rid of it. And when we got Spurs playing so high. There was many a time I've listened to many a podcast now saying how high Spurs were playing. You could have lobbed it over the ball. Haaland was 1-on-1 with, for instance, with one of their strikers, defenders, and so he would have lobbed it up towards Haaland. You never know. So, but rather than actually play, but they press us. We should have lobbed it over. And that's what Trafford should have done, but he didn't. We're trying to be too smart. We're trying to be the City of old, and we're not. And I think that's the problem. And we need to be a bit more conservative in our play a little bit more, be a bit more smarter. Now, going into the Brighton game, never shocked me because they lost against Everton away, Everton's new stadium. And Grealish got 2 assists. Typical, isn't it? I'm happy playing my football again. Let's dig Man City. I don't think you did at Man City, but the press will. Even though I don't think Jack said he's happy playing, but he said up to me, I was upset about football. It's football. So going into Brighton, etc. For instance, I think we should be playing a bit more smarter in our football and expect Brighton to do what a lot of teams will do, which will press us and try and catch us on the counter attack. So Kusanov to me has to play against Brighton. 100%. For instance, Ruben is still not playing that great. Hopefully, Ignori will be back. Guardiola hopefully will be back as well. And again, for instance, we need a settled defence, really do. And again, for instance, every great defence team has a settled defence. Losing Ignori was not good, but again, it was one of those things. So we've got to be very conservative in the way we, not conservative, just be a bit more pragmatic in the way we're playing. And and then not underestimate, underestimate the rest of all the players. Looks like it's going to rain. Great, that's great, absolutely great. Why didn't it rain yesterday? Anyway, but other than that, for instance, but there's reason to be optimistic, very much so. And we've got, it hits me hard, and as you can see, it hits me hard. You saw me how it hits me. When we lose and we're on such a high. The United game, etc., cheered me up. The 1-1, against Fulham, and United basically showed exactly who United are, really. So, for instance, to me, and which was great. For instance, I would out and Bruno and getting pushed over by the referee. He didn't. He got tapped in. He tapped. He's such up his own backside. That guy, he really is. And it's nice to see United fans rebel against him. But but United just again, for instance, that's 1 point in 2 games for them. Was good, and I thought they were supposed to be back, both to be playing this amazing football. Got these great players now. So, but it's just crap, as the United fans were saying. So nothing's changed there. Liverpool played 3-2 against Newcastle last night. For instance, again scored 2 goals. And if Newcastle would have been had Isak or a better finisher than Curly, for instance, who went off a stupid challenge on Van Dijk, then for instance, you never know. For instance, Newcastle could have won that one, and they needed a €16 to come on, and the 90s and 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the last minute was to go to win the game for them. Other than that, they would have again, for instance, dropped points. So they don't look invincible. Arsenal, yes, they played against Leeds at home, first home game. Yeah, well, there you are. So, for instance, let's see how they go. What's it called? Well, Arsenal are a good team, but do they have it? Again, they've done this many times. Arsenal, they've always shown that they've got this. They're going to win games. They're going to run. Arsenal fans get giddy, and then when it comes down to it, they just don't have the mentality for it. So, but let's see. But there wasn't too much doom and gloom for City. Again, we've got Brighton, then we've got the international snow, which is an absolute pain. Just as the players are getting back now, we've got to lose the players, and so stupid. It really is, playing stupid games for the national team, and the players will go all over the world for City. So, but let's see. Anyway, so they got the end of the transfer window next Monday, I believe. So, and the likes of Donnarumma, Edison still get deal not over the line. According to a lot of people, for instance, a lot of things. That the Edison deal was, it was terms and conditions were approved, for instance, and it wasn't. It was just a matter. But now I've seen on the Manchester Evening News that, for instance, so they're saying Man City are denying terms and conditions are refused. Again, it's what do you believe? Me personally, I do believe we'll get him, because again, we need an experienced a goalkeeper. And if we're going to lose Eddie, and I think Eddie will go. I think he's right on the wall. I'm happy he didn't play, because I think, for instance, we just we need to say goodbye to Eddie now, and I think it's crazy we're having 3 new goalkeepers all bedding in just in the beginning of a new season, etc. Which is, well, let's see. But I think for somebody, you need somebody who's like Donnarumma, for instance, who knows what he's doing, experienced. Nothing against James Trafford and in any way whatsoever, and all these people who talk about, well, he should be pissed off because he expected to be Man City's number 1. Well, I'm sorry, what's the goal? Man City's number 1 is the person who plays the best, and so it shouldn't be down to the fact that, for instance, a promise was made. I think he was England's now highest paid goalkeeper, for instance, transfer, and so for instance, he's happy to be back at his club, and he will, he'll make mistakes, but I think, for instance, we just need that experience if we're going to lose the likes of Edison, and Donnarumma is perfect. And I can't see any minus. I really can't. I saw on Ian Cheeseman's podcast. He was talking. Somebody actually said, "Oh well, I don't think he's a very good goalkeeper." I was like, what are you looking at? So, but we'll see. Also, there was a link for a central defender. I can't see it. I'm not. It was Manchester City were linked with what was his name? Because of the likes of Nicola Kanji going with Everton and Palace. I think it was Palace etc. Were offered Man City 15 million for Nicola Kanji. So, but we'll see. But according to the Daily Star, Man City have been linked with Marc Guehi from Paris. Whether Paris is going to sell another player, who knows? But it's a central defender, so I think it might be a good idea, because again our defence is questionable at best, and and also Guehi's a very good player. So, but yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It really is. Whether you got reports of the what's it called? Rodrigo's agents have been sent out, I believe. But again, it's what you believe, what you don't believe. I could sit there like JCG and talk about everything about what you read in newspapers, but a lot of it's all garbage, and so we don't know really. And 1 minute we're told Rodri is having talks with City and his agents are in Manchester. Then I hear that's a little bull. And then Donnarumma is just about to sign for Man City. Then I hear it's all bull. So it does drive me crazy. But I think there's always going to be these issues, and always going to be these things gone up now. So you've got there you go. PSG ready to accept around 25 million for Donnarumma, so for instance, but yeah, we'll see. Again, you've still got to get the Ederson thing over the line. I do think Ederson will go 15 million quid. City are going to have to take a bait on that one. But other than that, yeah. Anyway, so reasons to be cheerful, City fans. Reason to be cheerful, and I will pull myself up for you guys. I really will, and I need to pull myself up for you guys. I'm naffed up because it looks like it's going to rain, and I should have gone running today rather than yesterday. What's it called? But again, for instance, it's supposed to be good for your body. Whatever. Anyway, guys, going to be positive from now on. Okay, and we will get back. We will be the team, and yeah. So, for instance, I'll apologise once again for not talking to you yesterday. Busy days, so I couldn't believe what I had to do yesterday. Just like every day of my life, etc. But I will not let you down again. So, guys, love you and leave you. True blue Thai from Thailand. Stay positive. Susu, as we say in Thailand. Stay positive. Take care. I'll speak to you tomorrow.